Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're exploring a remarkable story. It really unravels the often surprising complexities of property rights, community rules, and what happens when those lines get maybe blurrier than they should.
It is. It's a classic showdown, really. Individual freedom versus perceived collective authority. And it's drawn from one listener's detailed account. We've got letters, security footage, even court documents.
Wow.
Yeah. So our mission here is to pull out the crucial facts, the legal principles in this whole narrative. Specifically, how an HOA's power is strictly defined. It's about initial consent, property law. It's not just about a vote. And we want to show the precise ways you can defend your rights against that kind of overreach.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Imagine this. You've been living on your land, say, 2 decades, minding your own business. Then, bam, suddenly you get this formal letter, looks official, from a homeowners association you've never ever joined. And it's claiming you're violating their rules. Sounds kind of fictional, right?
It really does.
Well, that's exactly where our story begins for a guy named James Carter. So James gets this letter, fancy logo, the whole deal. But here's where it gets really interesting. James, like we said, never belonged to an HOA, never signed a thing, 20 years he's lived there, no issues.
Right. And the letter, addressed just Dear Homeowner, lists these alleged violations. Things like unapproved fencing materials, failure to maintain HOA-approved landscaping.
Oh, the usual suspects.
Exactly. Unauthorized vehicle parking in his own driveway. And it demands he fix it all within 30 days or face fines and, quote, further action.
Further action. Ominous.
It immediately sets up that core conflict, doesn't it? This, perceived authority clashing with established private property rights. And you have to remember, HOAs are private contractual entities. They aren't the government. They don't have inherent police powers.
Yeah.
Their authority always comes from agreements, deed covenants, signed membership. Always.
Okay, so it wasn't just the letter. It escalated pretty quickly, didn't it?
Oh, very quickly.
Just 2 days later, he was, having his morning coffee on his porch, apparently had a shotgun leaning against the railing, which might be relevant later.
Hey.
And these 3 people show up on his driveway, led by a woman named Margaret Whitmore, the HOA president.
Right. And she just confidently tells them they're there for a property evaluation. Because, get this, his property is now officially within HOA boundaries.
Officially? How?
Well, according to her, they had voted last month to incorporate this section of the neighborhood.
They voted. Can an HOA just vote to take someone's private property?
No. Emphatically no. That's just not how it works. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding or maybe deliberate overreach.
So Jung's pushed back immediately.
You bet. He told him straight up, my land isn't part of your HOA. I never signed anything.
Makes sense.
But the HOA group, they just insisted. Said they had jurisdiction, authority to enforce their rules.
Even though he's telling them no.
Yep. James pointed out his address doesn't mention an HOA. He pointed to his no trespassing sign.
Which means they were trespassing.
Absolutely. Yeah. But Margaret, she just threatened legal action.
Wow. Okay, so James probably thought, oh, okay, I stood my ground. Maybe that's the end of it.
You'd hope so. But no, he was wrong.
What happened next?
Within a week, he starts getting flooded with HOA violation notices. Dozens of them.
For what? More of the same stuff?
Pretty much. Ridiculous things like the wrong kind of fence, unauthorized parking of his own truck in his own driveway.
This is getting absurd.
It really is.
Yeah.
But what's interesting here is James's response. He was methodical. He didn't just ignore it. He went straight to the county property office. Checked his deed.
The official source.
Exactly. Because that's where an HOA's authority usually originates, right? Covenants recorded on the deed or signed agreements. And he confirmed it. His land was never part of their HOA. Legally separate.
So he told Margaret this. Showed her the proof.
He politely informed her, yes. But according to the account, she just smirked. Maintained they had documented his noncompliance and were going to escalate things legally.
Unbelievable, just ignoring the facts.
Yeah, which is what prompted James to take the next step. He installed motion-activated night vision cameras.
Ah, good thinking. Let's see what further action really means.
And those cameras paid off fast. Really fast.
What did they catch?
3 nights later, 2:34 a.m., his phone pings motion alert, and the footage shows HOA board members on the edge of his property with flashlights.
Doing what?
Measuring things, marking stuff down, notes.
Whoa. Okay, that's beyond just sending letters. That's physically encroaching.
Exactly. This wasn't just about rule violations anymore. They were clearly planning something more intrusive, something physical.
Okay, this is already pretty bad, but it gets weirder, right? The fake cops incident.
Oh, yeah. This is where it takes a really concerning turn.
So what happened?
2 men show up at James's house, dressed all in black. They got badges clipped to their belts.
Real badges.
Well, badges. And vests that say HOA security enforcement.
HOA security enforcement. Is that even a real thing?
We'll get to that. But they confidently walk up to James, and they actually try to detain him.
Detain him? Like arrest him?
There was the implication. They said they needed to detain him until he agreed to go to some kind of compliance hearing.
On his own property. By guys in fake uniforms.
Right. Now, this is a critical moment. It really highlights a fundamental legal line. James, apparently very calmly, just asks them, which department do you work for?
Good question.
And they admit it. They say they're contracted security under the HOA, not actual police.
Okay, so they admitted they aren't cops.
Yep. So James points out again that they're trespassing, and this time he says he's calling the actual police.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah.
Right then and there. Called the local sheriff's office, put it on speakerphone, said something like, I've got 2 men on my property impersonating law enforcement and threatening to detain me.
Bold move. Good for him.
Absolutely. And the key takeaway here is huge. An HOA is a private group. Its security has 0 police power.
Yeah.
They can't detain you. They can't arrest you. Impersonating law enforcement is a serious crime.
So did the real cops show up?
They did. Sheriff's deputy arrived within 15 minutes.
And what was the deputy's reaction?
Took one look at these guys and their HOA security gear and basically confirmed everything James said. An HOA is not a government agency. It cannot arrest people.
Did he say anything about the impersonation?
Explicitly.
Yeah.
Said impersonating law enforcement is a crime.
So, what happened to the 2 guys?
They were cuffed, read their rights,
Yeah?
charged,
With what?
impersonating law enforcement, trespassing, and harassment.
Wow, okay, so instant consequences.
Pretty much. But the timing gets even more dramatic.
How so?
Just as this is happening, guess who rolls up?
Don't tell me. Margaret Whitmore.
The HOA president herself arrives just in time to see her security guards getting arrested.
Oh, the irony. What did she do?
Stormed up to the deputy. Apparently claimed the arrests were outrageous, said her men were only doing their jobs.
Their jobs. Impersonating cops and trespassing.
Apparently that was her view. But the deputy, turns out he knew Margaret. Been in the county 20 years. He wasn't having any of it. He just reiterated, James isn't part of the HOA. You have no authority here.
Did the deputy know about the cameras?
Crucially, yes. He told Margaret he had security footage, showed the 2 men trespassing, making false claims about arrest powers, harassing James.
Ah, so Margaret didn't know about the cameras?
Clearly not. Her composure apparently just crumbled.
So she couldn't deny it. What else did the deputy do?
He asked the security guys a key question. Did they have state-issued security licenses? Nope. They admitted they only had, wait for it, HOA certified credentials.
HOA certified.
Which the deputy immediately declared is, quote, not a thing. There's no such official certification.
So they weren't even licensed security guards?
Correct. Which led to the final step. The deputy arrested Margaret herself.
Arrested the HOA president. On what charge?
Conspiracy to commit harassment.
Conspiracy, meaning she planned it.
Exactly. The deputy cited her hiring of these unlicensed individuals specifically to intimidate a private citizen, James, and to enforce rules that didn't even apply to him. It wasn't just that they acted badly. She was implicated in the planning and direction of it.
Good grief. Arrested on her own supposed turf, trying to enforce non-existent rules with fake cops. What a mess.
A complete mess. But you'd think maybe that would be the end of it, right? Arrested, humiliated?
You would think. But somehow I feel like that's not where this story ends.
You are correct. Margaret decided to double down. Big time.
How? What could she even do at this point?
A week later, James gets a court summons.
She's suing him after all that.
The HOA. The HOA was suing James Carter.
On what grounds? This seems insane.
The claims were,
well,
bold. They claimed he was a public nuisance, a threat to community safety, that he was violating regulations he wasn't subject to, and incredibly, they were demanding the court forcibly annex his land into the HOA.
Forcibly annex. Can a court even do that based on an HOA lawsuit?
It highlights just how desperate they were, trying to use the legal system to achieve what they couldn't do by, facts or actual agreements.
So they actually went to court.
They did. James got a lawyer, Rich, and they showed up. Margaret's lawyer starts arguing, James refused to comply. He's causing disorder and distress, the whole 9 yards.
And the judge?
Described as a no-nonsense woman. She apparently cut right through it.
How?
First question, Does James Carter live in the HOA? Simple. Direct.
What did Margaret say? Still sticking to the expanded boundaries story.
Margaret claimed his property was within the expanded community boundaries.
But Jones had proof, right, from the county.
Exactly. James's lawyer presented the property deed, a certified county zoning map. Clear evidence his land was legally separate.
And the judge's reaction to that?
Crystal clear. According to the account, she looked at the HOA's side and said, basically, homeowners associations cannot unilaterally take private property. That is not how property law works. End of story on that point.
Boom. Just like that.
Pretty much shut down their entire case right there. But James wasn't just playing defense.
Oh, what did he do?
He countersued.
Good. For what?
Harassment, trespassing, and, importantly, filing a frivolous lawsuit.
Frivolous lawsuit, meaning a lawsuit just meant to annoy or without merit.
Exactly. It's a legal term for a case that lacks any real legal basis.
Right.
And is often brought just to harass someone. Courts can penalize people for filing those.
And James had the evidence for all this.
Did he ever?
Yeah.
He presented everything. The security footage of the board members sneaking around at night.
The fake cops video?
Yep. The video of the fake security at his door.
Wow.
And the official police report detailing Margaret hiring unlicensed people to intimidate him. The whole picture.
So what did the judge do with the countersuit?
The judge, probably exhausted by the sheer absurdity of it all, ruled entirely in James's favor. Granted his counterclaim. Harassment, trespassing, emotional distress, all validated.
Any financial penalties for the HOA?
Yes. The HOA was ordered to pay all of James's legal fees. Plus, they were fined $50,000 in damages payable to James.
$50,000. That's a significant hit.
A huge hit. And it wasn't just about the money. It was a complete legal vindication. It powerfully showed, again, an HOA's authority comes from explicit agreements, deeds, signed contracts, not votes, not wishful thinking, not intimidation.
A total victory.
Yeah.
But knowing James's methodical approach so far, was he done?
He was not done. He decided to use that $50,000 settlement for one final, let's call it an exclamation point.
Oh, what did he do with the money?
He went down to the city planning office.
Okay.
And he legally purchased advertising space, a large space, for a 12-foot billboard.
A billboard? Where?
Right at the entrance to the HOA's supposedly pristine gated community.
No way. What'd the billboard say? Simple, bold, all caps. It read, "Attention HOA, this land is not yours. Stay off it. Paid for by James Carter."
Oh my God, he actually put that up.
He did. And apparently he even included a custom logo that mimicked their HOA logo.
That's some next level poetic justice right there.
It really was the ultimate mic drop. The HOA already broke from the lawsuit.
Yeah, the $50 E+ legal fees.
They couldn't afford to fight the billboard, which was perfectly legal. He'd gone through all the proper channels.
What happened to Margaret?
Margaret Whitmore resigned in disgrace. Her little empire, as the source put it, crumbled. She eventually moved away.
And James?
James watched her drive away, sipping his coffee on his porch, his land, his rules, finally secure.
Wow, what a story. So, okay, let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for our listeners?
Well, this deep dive into James's story, it's not just like an entertaining tale of defiance, though it is that. It's a really powerful lesson in understanding boundaries, legal ones, personal ones, even just the geographical lines on a map. And specifically about HOAs, right? Their power isn't unlimited.
Exactly. It's a vivid reminder. Community groups can have rules, sure, but their authority is finite. It's specifically defined by law and by agreement. They can't just invent jurisdiction like trying to vote someone's land in. They absolutely cannot impersonate legal powers, like sending fake cops. This case showed that clearly.
Which raises a pretty important question, I think.
Yeah.
In a world that feels increasingly complex, with rules coming from all directions, how crucial is it to actually know your rights and your responsibilities?
Absolutely critical. Especially when you're facing some kind of perceived authority that might be overstepping its bounds. You need to know where the lines actually are.
James's story really makes you think, doesn't it? What are the lines you draw, personally, legally? And how far are you willing to go to defend them when something unexpected, something like this, challenges you?
Definitely something to mull over.
Indeed. Until our next deep dive.